I was going to wear my Royal shirt today, but...
So once again, Hoop fans, Rory Shepard coming to you.
We're going to talk a lot about fantasy football rankings. I want to give the biggest shout out to high school sports.
Belly cut the defender, gets the ball. And it falls at the buzzer!
And we're live.
And we're
Oh,
live.
hey.
How's everybody doing? I'm trying to figure out when Trevor Lawrence was drafted. 2018. Okay, let me write that down before I go any further. Welcome in. Welcome
He's been in the
into
league for 6 years already.
I know, right?
Wow.
Doesn't seem it, does it?
No, it does not.
Welcome into the first pitch. We are sitting in our bullpen seats.
Yes.
No, box seats. We're in our
Box.
box seats.
Well, this is more box.
Yeah.
Usual cast of characters. Hope you are watching us live on our Four Quarters Facebook page, 802 Scoops. And we're live on YouTube. All you got to do is subscribe to us.
And hopefully we're
kinda
working
wanna
today
just-
on all ends.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks good. Looks
Okay.
good.
I'm gonna
Upload.
put a sign behind us that says
So we can just point.
YouTube. Hit the button.
Yeah.
It's right there. Welcome in to another fun-filled week of sports, and more sports.
It's a great time of year.
It's a
Great
freaking amazing
time of year.
I'm going to throw it to CB, but guys, there's only 2 weeks left in the high school fall season.
Which is nuts.
I finally looked up on the VPA. I'm like, oh, how many more weeks do we got? Thinking, I don't know what I thought.
Yeah.
I mean, with the playoffs, it's the month of October. But I'm like, 2 more weeks.
The fall sports go the fastest of all the seasons, I think.
Winter is
Yes. And the
So long.
the
It's not
winter
slow,
season
long.
seems like it
long.
is forever.
CB, you want to talk dogs?
Yeah, so from Team Golden Hugs, I'm not actually putting the video up because you've seen all 3 of these before. They're all still looking for their forever homes. We have Tay, who's a puppy. Tay and Marshall are puppies. And then we have Abigail, who's 8. She's the black shepherd mix. She's gorgeous, guys. Look her up. And then they are also in need of some fosters for these puppies. Look at these puppies. They're so cute.
I can't look.
Love them all.
I can't look.
Look, they're
Nope.
so cute
Nope.
and so
2 is enough.
tiny.
2 is enough. No.
I keep saying 2 is enough, but gosh darn it.
I mean, there are times I want to drop Avery off in your backyard and just run. So
Plus, you could do that.
I can't.
Just give me a heads up.
I can't do it.
You're the one that has to go home to shine.
Yeah. True.
CB, any shout outs?
No, not that I can think of.
We're going to take a quick trip around high school sports
Sure.
tours. And I'm going to start with Mondays. I believe I'm looking at Mondays first. Harwood boys soccer from Monday. Still on that winning streak. We are now up to 27 games.
Wow.
Wow.
8-0 win over Hazen. Montpelier High School Solon's boys soccer team, 2-0 win over Rutland. That puts, obviously Harwood's undefeated on the season. Montpelier is 7-2 on the season. Huge matchup this Saturday at Harwood with the
2 of them.
Solons and
Oh,
the Highlanders. And as
gonna
I
be a
look
good
at
game.
the standings, you've got Harwood number 2 at 9-0-1. Stratton Mountain is number 1. So I was like, how can Harwood not be 1?
And Stratton Mountain, like where? When?
Yeah, I'm
when? Like,
And
I just
the
didn't even
record
know.
says 4-0, whereas most teams have played 10
Right.
times, so I'm really confused.
Yeah, the Otter Valley girls team goes to Stratton this weekend. And I was like, we've never played
Fascinating.
Stratton ever. I don't know. I don't know.
What was I talking about? Yep, okay, so Harwood is number 2 seed. Montpelier is the number 4 seed right now with 2 weeks ago, and U32 is the number 5 seed. And U32 did suffer a loss to People's Academy, 2-1. That puts the Raiders at 6-3. But I mean, get out and support your local teams.
Yeah.
I've just named 3 boys soccer team locally. That's 2, 4, and 5 in the rankings right now. Let's switch over to girls soccer. I think this was last night's game. Spalding High School with a 5-1 win over the Montpelier Solons. Taylor Keel with 4 goals.
Oh,
in that
wow.
game.
Oh, wow.
Wasn't
Okay.
gonna say anything,
Holy.
but I
Let's
saw that.
go.
Wow.
Let's go.
The Spalding girls improved to 6-3-1 on the season. The U32 Raiders girls soccer team with a 1-0 win over People's Academy puts them at 6-2-1. Spalding at 6-3-1. And if we look at the girls' standings, Harwood Highlanders on girls. Boys are on a winning streak, I guess.
Right.
Yeah,
Girls are on
yeah.
a 6-game winning streak. They are 7-2 on the season after starting out 1-2.
Solid.
Wow.
So in Division 2, they're the 4th seed. U32 is the 5th seed, and Spalding is the 6th seed.
Solid.
Dang.
Solid.
You're looking at the records just to let you know how close they are in the standings. So Harwood at 7-2. I just alluded to Spalding 6-3-1, U32 6-2-1. Otter Valley is 5-3.
Lori, do you have your mic on?
Oh, I don't have my mic on. Could you hear me though still?
I don't know.
Oh.
I guess we'll see.
We'll
No
see.
one's commented anything.
No one's commenting that Lori's mouth's moving, but she doesn't have the lapel on.
So it could be
So
a
Otter Valley.
Spalding Otter Valley matchup here.
So they're the 11th seed, but they have a record of 5-3.
They had a heartbreaker. They lost 4-3.
Michael Deering says they could still hear you.
Oh.
That's how loud I am, Michael.
Good,
I mean,
good.
I'm not
Yeah.
worried about it. That's
Yeah, Otter Valley. I was at the homecoming game on Saturday against MSJ. Heartbreaker.
Thanks,
they
guys.
lost 4-3 in double overtime. Sudden death, double
Oh, my
overtime.
God.
But it was a great game. Great game.
So talking about great games, so on Saturday, U32 and Spalding girls soccer team played.
Ooh.
U32 came away with a 3-2 win in that
good
game.
game. Good game.
Huge game this time of year. If we take a quick look at field hockey, we've got the Montpelier Solons with a 3-1 win on Tuesday over Missisquoi. They are 8-2 on the season, sitting as the number 1 ranked team in Division 3. In their last 4 games, I believe this was after one of their losses on the season, they are 14-1 in goals.
Wow.
So 1 goal has been scored against the Solons. U32 girls field hockey team, 6-1 over Harwood. That puts them at 6-4 on this season. And the Spalding girls field hockey team, a 1-1 tie with Stowe, and Stowe is so tough. That puts Spalding at 5-3-2 on this season. So if you look at the field hockey rankings in D2, U32 is the number 4 seed, record of 6-4. Spalding High School, the 6th seed, 5-3-2. Otter Valley, the 5th seed, 5-3-2. I always have to give Wheels
I appreciate
a big
that.
shout out. Big game this Friday night up at U32, and Garrett Sicily and I will have the call for CVTsport.net. It's a 7 p.m. kickoff.
It's going to be a good game.
It is Fairhaven is making the long trek up
It's
here.
a long trek. Long
at
haul for them.
Yep,
for sure.
4-1, one of the top teams in Vermont. And U32, I don't care that their record is 1-4. They have been in every game. This is my first look at U32 as I have called Spalding boys football so far this fall. So that's a quick wrap.
Michael says Spalding girls volleyball looking positive with numbers and energy with 2 games this week.
Nice.
That should be good.
Yep.
Nice.
I was looking at the rankings, but I forget they're a club sport now. But we gave them a big shout out a week ago. Had a picture we put up of them. Right now, just 1 division in volleyball. Watch for that in the coming years. Watch for that to really take off.
You know what I think is crazy? And I don't know, I mean, CB's too young for this, but like when you and I were in high school, there was JV varsity for everything.
Yes.
There was a
100%.
and
Everything.
sometimes you even had to cut people because there was just too many
100%.
kids. And so I was at Otter Valley's homecoming, and we only have varsity soccer. There's no JV.
Yep.
We only have varsity field hockey. No JV.
Yep.
It's
Doesn't that
crazy.
break your heart?
I'm like, what is happening to all these athletes? Like, what's
Yeah.
I was trying to remember
going on?
who I was speaking with about football. Oh, it was Renee, the athletic director at CVU, and she was talking about the CVU football team. I think they're undefeated. And then she starts talking about her JV football team, and I'm like, most schools don't
even
have
have-
JV.
yeah.
They don't.
No.
And that's why they're Division I. But
Right.
I have, being around Spalding basketball for the last 5 winters, I have been incredibly, I hold my breath every November.
Right.
I've been incredibly stoked that they have been able to maintain in boys and girls JV and varsity,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of teams
Yeah,
in
that-
Division II, and I'm just talking basketball, that cannot field a JV team.
And then there are other teams that have JVA, JVB. I'm
100%.
like, how?
And this is how these kids develop.
Yeah.
Because if you get in, especially as a freshman, and you're boosted up to the varsity team or cut,
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you can't do that to kids.
Right. A year off for kids is a lifetime. I
It
mean,
is.
you just don't get that year back.
Yeah.
You're still learning, especially as freshmen.
Yeah.
But then again, if you only have one team and you make the varsity, but then you hardly play, it's still. I mean, you're still practicing with
Right.
them and learning,
Right.
but
Right.
it's still
It's not the same.
It's not game experience.
Michael
so.
says regarding the volleyball JV now, lots of competition and it was great. Then he says JV football at SHS now, so
Yep.
I guess I'm
Good.
spelling. And he said good feeder programs like Buccaneers Youth Football Vermont do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
Also, guys, the Tigers are up 5-2 in the bottom of the
Love
eighth.
it.
Let's
Love
go.
it.
Let's go.
You guys aren't even going to care about the Yankees.
No.
Well, the CB just
Well,
wants
I
the
care.
Astros.
I just
out.
want the
also
Astros out.
Yeah, I
That's
don't want
her
the Astros.
biggest wish is the
Yeah.
Astros out. So, should we actually let me do a few best things I heard. Number one, best thing I heard is from me. I took the points and the Giants for that Thursday night game with the Cowboys and a piece of cake. I mean, not a piece of cake. It would have been 21-20 Giants. But I just want you to know that they showed up, kind of, sort of. All right,
They didn't score a touchdown.
well, that's coming up in best thing I heard. Best thing I heard or read. Bo Nix in the first half of the game with the Jets. I did not know this, and I watched the fourth quarter of that game,
Yeah,
just because
so you get
I
stomach.
had to see how Aaron Rodgers looked, and well, it wasn't-
great.
I wish I had
It
a
was not
picture-
great.
No.
I wish I had a picture of the end of the game when he puts his hat on and puts the towel over his
Yeah.
head. I said it's got to be on the Daily News or the Post tomorrow. I wish I had it for the podcast. In the first half only, he was 7 for 15 for -7 yards.
Yes. Yep.
Well, I did not know that.
Yep. Yep.
Until today, as I was reading up on things, I'm like, wait, what? He finished the game with 60 yards.
Yeah.
All of it to Cortland Sutton. 3 catches, 60 yards, and wait for it, a touchdown.
A touchdown.
But more than anything, they won the
Yeah.
game.
I know. That's
don't know
insane.
how.
That's insane.
One of the most brutal games yet. I was watching it with a couple of friends, and we were literally on the edge of our seat.
I was so pissed. I needed the Jets to win for that parlay. That was the only one I missed. That was
This
the
is like
only
4
one
weeks in a row
I
you've
missed.
missed it by like one scenario.
I'm
What is
pissed.
happening?
Yeah.
It's always one.
And it's like the most obvious one. I'm
Right.
like, that should have happened. No,
Right.
no issue.
That was the ugliest game I've seen in a very long time.
Well, and then when Lutz misses the field goal for the Broncos
Yep.
to put them up by 4,
And I was like, oh yeah, that'll be.
I'm watching it with a diehard Bronco fan, and I'm like, oh, he's a pretty good kicker, automatic, and shank. I'm like, ah. And then the Jets go down the field, and I'm like, all done. And then shanks to the right, and I'm like,
weather didn't help that.
no, it didn't.
Yeah.
It didn't. I just,
But still.
it was probably one of the best games I watched, just because it was brutally ugly, but
It was
brutally
so
good.
ugly.
So good.
So ugly. I had the Jets kicker in fantasy in case anyone was wondering.
Oh,
I
that
shanked
sucks.
that.
I have had, I don't think I get points from my kicker. And when I drafted him, I don't think a lot about kickers. But I watched through the first 2 to 3 weeks of our fantasy season where kickers are getting points.
Yes.
Like if Kathy keeps telling me
Yeah.
one word, Aubrey, I mean, here's the thing with Kathy Thurston's kickers. You're going to play Brandon Aubrey. You have to.
Yeah.
He's been getting double digits. She had Koo of
Yeah, who's
the-
also
Yep.
amazing.
He had 21 points last
Yeah.
week.
A kicker.
I have Elliott, the kicker for the Eagles, who I felt so confident
I would have
in.
felt pretty confident with
Yeah.
that.
Oh, I'm so glad he's on a bye. So I felt, that I should drop him. I'm like, oh, you're on a bye, because I kept believing him.
Yeah.
It's kicker.
Yeah.
He's
I
got
think
me
it's the year
2.
of the
He's
kicker.
got me 0. Oh, it's been awful.
Because it's not the year of the tight end. It's the year of the kicker currently.
Which it should be the year of the tight end.
It's literally zeros.
Unbelievable.
0.
Other thing I read, which this is a no-brainer because we titled our show. We didn't title our show
Oh
today.
shoot.
Which the title of the show is New York, New York.
I like that.
That's it.
I like it.
Jaden Daniels is what fantasy owners thought they were getting when they drafted Anthony
Truth.
Richardson.
Truth.
Ding, ding,
That
ding,
is
ding.
100% true.
Now, again, I can only look at our league.